job of that. So then once that happened, what I did was evaluated all the nominations, and I sent a letter home to parents and then students, so those are the next two bullets to the slide, alerting them to the fact that their child had been nominated, or the child herself had been nominated, and congratulated them on that, explained, again, I think in a very detailed way, what the Leadership Academy was all about, and encouraged parents to talk with their child about going forward with the application process. So what happened from that point was that if a student was nominated, the packet that I sent to them, which was about 3 or 4 pages, again, you should have a copy of it, it did ask the student to fill out an application and respond to a number of questions that we then used to evaluate those students that we thought would be the best candidates for the Student Leadership Academy. Again, because money, as you all well know, is always an issue. It was important for us to really look at who would we best be served by having them be a part of the Student Leadership Academy. So we evaluated applications. Some students chose not to go forward with the application process. They were nominated, they were happy with that, but it was not something that they could even fit into their schedule. As you might imagine, some of the students that got nominated are students that are involved in 2, 3, 4 other things. So for them, it wasn't feasible in a time way, or it might not have just been something that they were interested in. But I will tell you, by far, the bulk of the students did go forward with filling out an application, and then we considered those, and that's the group that we now have 54 students that we're working with. I'm also very pleased and proud to tell you that I sought faculty to serve as volunteer advisors to the group. There was no stipend attached to this. It was simply, do you have an interest in being a part of something like this? And they considered that, and I had a number of faculty come forward, and I ultimately had 6, because I had too many that I could take as part of the training. I asked those people that had expressed an interest to write to me why they wanted to be a part of this. And 6 people did that, and 5 of those 6 people are here tonight. One had a conflict in her schedule, but 5 of those folks have come forward again tonight, voluntarily, to be here tonight to support the program. And I think that certainly is worthy to know. As I mentioned a moment ago, money is an issue, and we sought financing for this program. The first source that I went to was my Parents Association, and I have Mrs. Santilli and Mrs. Casino. They're going to speak to you a little bit later tonight about some of the other work that they're doing as co-presidents of the high school's Parent Association. But I appealed to them to fund this program, and I'm happy to say that when I first introduced it to them, it was something I felt I wanted to market very effectively with them, and I gave them as much detail as I possibly could. And they ultimately saw it in their wisdom to fund this program to the tune of $4,500. So the Parents Association for the high school contributed $4,500 for the training. There was a 2-day training session, and that also bought, am I right, guys, a really good lunch and pretty decent breakfast. Food is always important in these things. So I'm very grateful to the Parents Association through their fundraising efforts for supporting the program. And then something, to be very honest with you, I don't think I would have done, but it was recommended to me that I do this, and that was that I attach a nominal fee to the students if they decided to apply. And if they weren't selected upon their application being submitted, then that fee would be refunded to them. But the reasons for this were twofold. I think the primary reason for it was that, as it was explained to me by the consultants, that if you put a small dollar tag on this, there'll be some meaning behind it. When they go home at night, the parents are going to want to know what that experience was like because they wrote a check out for it. And I think that happened because no one objected to that. It was a $20 fee. And we, as I told the students again tonight, before we came to this meeting, we put that money aside for some future projects that they want to work on, and they're going to tell you about that tonight. So there's a little bit of money that was built up by their $20 participation fee as well. Okay, just rather quickly, a little bit about the training sessions. As I mentioned a moment ago, we engaged a husband and wife team, Deb and Dana Hout, HULT. They run a company out of Nashua, New Hampshire called Core Trainings. And essentially, their function is to build communities within schools, putting students in leadership positions and working with them to exert that leadership for the benefit of everybody who lives and works in a school. Okay. We had 2 training sessions, full days of training on February 27th and March 12th, to The trainings were done here at the high school. Mrs. Barker, you attended one of those, following the meeting we had here in the morning, as long as Dr. Troughton. And the students were excused from classes. They were responsible for making their daily work. But they were 2 days of intensive training that took place here at the high school that I think when you hear from them tonight about what the experience was like for them, I think you'll be very impressed. Before I turn it over to the students, just a little bit about what is it that they could expect from the experience. And essentially, Deb and Dana Holt identified 5 core areas that they think they will be able to help students with. And one is their own personal effectiveness. How do they become more effective as student leaders in the school, and in what ways are they going to use that leadership for the benefit of everyone around them? It's not simply about elevating their own personal character, but it's more about doing that along with helping you to bring it out in other students. And I think that's something we're very much looking forward to with the work that they're all going to be doing for our incoming freshman class that you'll hear about more in just a moment. Secondly is self-talk and attitude. This is not about improving one's own attitude. Sometimes we hear that phrase thrown around a little bit, like you have a bad attitude. I don't really think that was the objective here for the participation in the training, but more about in terms of your viewpoint of things. What is your attitude towards something? And there's a little activity that took place during the training about a pool card. And I was reading the chuckle. The pool card was more about not doing something because it's cool, but because it's the right thing to do. Okay, and that's kind of the core to the self-talk and attitude objective. Enhancing listening skills, I think that probably speaks for itself. Goal setting, helping to set goals and then working toward achieving those goals. And again, when you see what these young men and women have for you tonight, I think you're going to be very impressed with the goals they have set for themselves. They're pretty good and pretty enlightening. Honor and integrity, again, I think those speak for themselves in terms of vocabulary, but more just, what does it mean to have personal honor and personal integrity? And again, serving as a role model, a leader among their peers. So those were the 5 objectives that the consultants saw they would be able to help us bring out in our students. The students themselves, after the second day of training, identified something that they wanted to work on for themselves, and that was building their own self-confidence and building their public speaking skills, something that's not always easy to do, is stand up in front of an audience and speak to them. And with that said, I'm now going to give Maura Guthrie and Valerie and Andrew, you guys going to talk to? You got something to say? All right, good. They're kind of our designated spokespeople tonight. But, I've encouraged the other students here tonight that if they have something to say or want to add on to an answer or a remark that these folks make, or certainly 5 of our faculty advisors are here as well, that they should do so. So I'm hoping that I could work the PowerPoint presentation to coincide with Maura. So go ahead, Maura, you're on here.
Good evening. My name is Maura Guthrie. I'm president of the junior class and a member of the new Student Leadership Academy that we've created. And first of all, on behalf of the entire academy, those present behind me and those who aren't here, we'd really like to extend the sincerest of thanks to the High School Parents Association and also the school committee for providing us with such a wonderful opportunity. When I first received a letter from Mr. Bernard here about the Student Leadership Academy, I really wasn't sure what to expect, and I was not expecting what we received. On our first day with Deb and Dana, delegates from core training, each member of the new academy gained invaluable lessons and shared many memorable moments. The new Student Leadership Academy, I feel, is sure to be a success. I believe that the teachers selected a truly special bunch of talented and devoted high schoolers willing to put forth the effort required to attain a positive and productive school environment. And on that note, I'd really like to mention and enforce the idea that the academy might be just a small portion of the entire student body, but it's really a community working to build a community out of the whole school. It was a 2-day leadership intensive, and it gave us an opportunity to explore ourselves, our behavior, strengths and weaknesses, how to interact with others, and an opportunity to improve our communication skills. We completed many tasks and also worksheets, which made us think about our own ideas and share them with our peers, which was a little hard sometimes. You don't always have the opportunity to share your views maybe on school or each other and the cool card, as Mr. Bernard mentioned, but I think it was a really positive flow of ideas back and forth between students and also our wonderful faculty who became involved with the group. Each member was able to step outside of his or her comfort zone and have a blast with a plethora of games, including the Possibility Walk. The Possibility Walk was one of the first exercises like Monty Python a little bit first. And, so if some people hopped and some people skipped, and I rolled across the floor, and then we did it twice, so it really got pretty interesting by the end. I, for one, am excited to continue shaping freshman orientation, and at this point I'd like to go to the next slide, Mr. Bernard, if you don't mind. If you would. We've divided up the...
You're going to do that again?
Yeah.
Committees? Okay.
We've divided up the entire academy into 5 subcommittees. The Community Builder Committee, and also there's the Operations and Organization Committee, the Public Relations and Promotions Committee, the Creative Committee, and last of all, the Assembly Committee. Each committee that we've organized has some specific goals within our plan for freshman orientation. So hopefully we're going to be very productive with our committees, so everybody has a certain goal, a specific area, if you will, of specialization. Okay. All right, each group is planning certain aspects of the freshman orientation so that we may combine all of the ideas into one wonderful day that will make incoming high schoolers feel comfortable and welcome. As of right now, we have 2 dates. During August, we plan to have a day from about 10 till 2, which will involve a brief introduction of the current 8th graders into high school life. It will include a tour of the school and an opportunity to speak with students involved with every single sport and club that we possibly have to offer here at the high school. We're planning to have maybe some tables set up in the cab, and if kids are like, oh, I want to play volleyball, they can go over to the volleyball table and talk with someone who's a member of the volleyball team and who can give them a lot of insight on that specific club or sport. And also, the day will naturally be fueled by an assortment of icebreaker games, which everybody enjoys. And I think that this will truly be a nice way to begin to ease the freshmen into the school year. And we're planning on wrapping it up with a barbecue. And before that, sometime in this month, we're planning to head over to the middle school, probably during the 8th grade lunchtime, so we can give them a brief introduction onto what our plan is, so everybody can feel really excited about coming to the high school over the summer and not feel like only the losers are going to go to school over the summer. Also, we're planning on sending out some welcome letters to the incoming freshmen and probably their parents, because if they're anything like my brothers who's in 8th grade, they're not going to give their mom the letter. And emails over the summer also to remind them of the dates and programs we're hoping to set up that they'll really enjoy. We want to keep this as organized and fuel it as much as possible. And August 14th is that orientation meeting I was just talking about. The next date that we have is the first day of school. So on this day, all 8th graders, well, then freshmen, have an abbreviated schedule so that they can go to, as you know, we have block scheduling. They can go to all 8 of their classes on the one day. And we're planning on having, first of all, Mr. Bernard will speak and address them as he is the principal. And then we are going to talk with them. Hopefully we'll be able to meet with our assigned small groups of freshmen. Each member is going to have 3 or maybe 4 kids who can talk to them if they need anybody to come to, and we want to get to know them so that we can be their guide, if you will, if they ever need any help, especially through the first 4 or 5 months of high school can be a really difficult transition. Our ideas for this day include a fashion show, which will demonstrate what attire is appropriate for high school, which is sometimes a little, on the fence for lots of us. We'll be available to take any questions that the kids have and to make sure that they find their way through classes very easily through the hallways. They seem really small to us now, but it seems pretty big on our first few days. Also, school pride is something that we're really rah about of the academy. We're going to hopefully order some t-shirts. For us, we already have the academy, we have t-shirts, but we want to get some new ones. And also,